Hey everybody, welcome back to Extra Time, Act 2, The Envelope Please. I'm joined by Shep, Messing, and Jason as always. We're looking at some of the mid-season awards, the ETs that we're going to be giving out. 4 awards that we're giving out today. Basically, this is how it worked. The 3 of us threw something out there that we thought would be a nominee, and then the 3 of us voted on which one would win. So we're going to start out with the breakout player of the first half of the season. And Shep, you've got a player from Colorado in mind.
Yeah, it's a tough category. Breakout means he played in the league maybe last year or last couple of years, but a breakout. Mine is kind of Casey. He scored goals last year, but this year, healthy, 8 goals in 11 games. So I'm giving it to him. He's my breakout
Got
player.
the call into the national team as well, so that's been huge for him. It's a good year so far.
And that's fair. Although I think that being that Casey scored 11 goals in 21 games last year, it's hard to really call him a breakout player.
That's fair.
So take away the that's fair part. That's fine.
Where I go is Chicago to Marco Pappa, who's really, I mean, he's come out and shown that he is a player that they needed. I mean, last year people were talking, if they bring him back, it's going to cost them a lot of money, or is he a player you really want to bring back? 5 goals, 2 assists so far. Exciting player, and I think that's what's key. He really fits in with the Chicago's, attacking play with Blanco, the way they get forward.
He does well. He
So
does well.
we'll give him the
link.
exciting player.
Certainly, most exciting player. Well, my player for breakout year was Robbie Finley for Real Salt Lake. 6 goals so far in the season, matching his career high so far. And talk about exciting. The guy's got speed that can just go all over the place. The winner, of course, Jason. He is right on this one. We're going to go with Marco Pappa. Marco Pappa, the winner for breakout player of the first half of the season for here on Extra Time. It's a good pick. I agree with you. He's been exciting, and he fits into that mold very well.
Yeah, and he's really, I think Chicago has a lot of those players that are interchangeable, and he's one of them. I mean, he's going to play out on the right, but he could play out on the left if he needed. He could play in the middle.
You made your point. Fair enough. He gets the award.
All right.
Well, we go from the positive to the negative. The biggest disappointment in the first half of the season. Jason, who you got for us?
Well, it's not really a person. It's the injuries to Taylor Twellman. I don't want to blame Twellman for the injuries in any ways, but that, to me, is very disappointing because I want to see him on the field. He's one of the best MLS players of all time, really, and it's hurting New England.
Yeah. As a fan, you obviously want to see Taylor Twellman. That's the disappointment as a fan, for sure.
Yeah, we all feel badly. Taylor Twellman, at his best, a great player. Nobody wants to see injuries. My biggest disappointment is it's obvious. New York Red Bulls, and disappointment because hard to believe they made it to the MLS Cup final last year against Columbus. This year has been an absolute travesty. Yeah. And it's really the way they've lost games and given them away. Had the lead at home in Giant Stadium against DC United, gave away the equalizer, gave away the winning goal on 2 mistakes. So they find new ways to lose games, and it's
all those goals that they're giving up right before the half, game after game.
Well, maybe they need a new goalkeeper. My disappointment, Matt Pickens of the Colorado Rapids, when he came back to the league, I was expecting him to be a dominating goalkeeper again, the way we had seen before when he was with Chicago, and he hasn't really been that so far. Now, it doesn't mean that he couldn't pick it up in the second half. So
he's definitely been serviceable. He's made some big saves for them. So
he has made some big saves. So the winner for this one?
Can't argue with
Yeah, you can't argue with it. He's absolutely right. It has to be the Red Bulls. I mean, MLS Cup to the very bottom of the league, it doesn't get much more disappointing than that, does it? Well, all the coaches around the league have been making lots of roster moves throughout the season so far, and we thought it'd be important to have the best roster move of the first half. So, Shep, what do you think?
Yeah, well, this one happened before the season, and it was a new franchise, Seattle, and they've done great. And I attribute a lot of it to going out and signing Casey Keller. And there was some question marks. He had sat out after his last stint in Germany. Was he going to be motivated, in shape? In retrospect, turns out to be a great signing. Casey Keller has kept them in every game. He's fit. He's motivated. He looks tremendous.
He's obviously offered some veteran presence in back there as well. Jason, what do you think?
I'm going the opposite of veteran. I'm going with rookies, and that's DC taking Rodney Wallace and Chris Pontius with 6 and 7 in the draft. More so than them just turning out to be good players, I think their versatility has really helped DC United this year. I mean, they've both played all over the field. Rodney Wallace has played a little left back, left midfield, holding midfield. Pontius has been out right, up top, in the center of midfield. It's really helped them with all the injuries they've had.
And a month ago, people were talking about them maybe even being called in for the Gold Cup for the U.S. team as possible international guys.
And it's been a great rookie class. And Stefan Fry up in Toronto. So those two with DC United.
Some great ones. Now, for me, it was Donovan Ricketts for the Los Angeles Galaxy. The goalkeeper brought in. I wasn't convinced, but I have to say it's been a fantastic move. And, Bruce Arena got it right. He got the goalkeeper in there that has kept him into a lot of games. Jason, you were talking earlier about how LA has never been in a game more than one goal, right?
Yeah, LA, besides the loss to Real Salt Lake 2-0, all of their goals have been decided by one goal, or obviously they've had a ton of ties. So I think that points right to what you're saying in terms of Ricketts. That's why Ricketts takes the trophy here.
The ET goes to Donovan Ricketts for the best roster move. Maybe it should go to Bruce Arena, actually. We'll have to figure that one out, right?
That's true. When you're playing all those close games, you need a goalkeeper who's going to keep you in them. So.
Well, the last award we're handing out, the second half story to watch. What should we be looking for in the second half of the season? This one, we have to get through this one quickly, though, because Landon Donovan and David Beckham. For me, that is a story we're going to have to watch when Beckham comes back next week. And how's he going to deal with Landon Donovan, especially with the book out, claiming all of these problems in the locker room?
I can't wait for it. I'm excited about it. I think the LA Galaxy have built the foundation. They have this high publicized argument between Beckham and Landon Donovan. I only want to make one point. In the history of David Beckham, that petulant red card in the 98 World Cup, he was vilified in England. Yep. He came back. Sold to the Galaxy. Capello kicks him out of Real Madrid. He worked hard. He came back. They won the championship. The history of David Beckham is he rises to the occasion when there's adversity. Landon Donovan is playing great. I think it's a great story.
I'd like to give honorable mention to Schelotto going for the Golden Boot and his back-to-back MVP, and Toronto pushing to make the playoffs for the first time, which I think would be huge for that franchise.
Yeah, they would be huge, but of course the Landon David Beckham story is going to be one we're going to be watching for the next couple of months. Right. And it starts next week when David Beckham returns to the Los Angeles Galaxy. Before that, though, they have the Super Classico on Saturday, and we're going to be talking about that on Thursday in Act 3.